and welcome to another BookTube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. And
me.
From
Beardy Adventures.
When was the last time you did a Beardy Adventures video?
April?
April. Oh, that's still last month. It wasn't April, it was before
March.
that. March. Today, David and I are going to the library and we're going to do a library haul video for you. So we're taking our empty book bags. What book bag have you got, David?
I've got a penguin bag.
David's got the penguin platform bag that we got from the penguin platform Christmas party last year, and I've got, sorry David to conceal you, I've got the Coralie Bickford Smith books in my bag from 2016, and we are going to our local library to pick up some books we're very excited about. Have you got anything that you're excited about? Anything? You got a shopping list?
No, I thought I did, but I haven't.
David did have a list on his phone of all books that, well, you don't know where you've put it.
No, I don't know.
We just go, and I think that's the best way though, when you go and you just have a look and see what you want. Yeah, David likes animal non-fiction. I am picking up a book and I'm just going to see what else takes my fancy. Tell you what else you like. You like a courtroom drama, don't you?
Like
Maybe you could pick up a courtroom drama.
This isn't gel in my hair. I've just had a shower.
So yeah, so we're going to do that, and then we will report back with the books that we've picked up and show you what we've picked up. See you then. We're back! We went to the library and we had a lovely time, didn't we, David?
We did.
Did you enjoy it?
I always... Well, no, that's a lie. I don't always enjoy going to the library, but I know we have fun
Normally
at the
you
library.
just spend time looking at your phone while you're in the library, but this time you were looking at the shelves.
Yeah.
And did you feel like it was nice?
Yeah, I don't like going in there unarmed, so to speak.
You're not a very good browser, and
Right.
that's also the case not just for library, but for clothes shopping, for food shopping. You need, like, quite often if we're shopping, do you remember those pink shorts in Sainsbury's? And I was like, oh, you'd probably like these. And you were like, no, I don't want any clothes today. And I was like, oh, what about these? And you were like, oh yeah, actually I do really like them. Sometimes you need a bit of encouragement, don't you, Pooh?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Right, anyway, before we get started, we've both got a bag of books. And
it feels
we've
like
also,
Christmas.
David's mum and dad have just got back from
New York.
And they bought us both a Harry Potter. This is in the, that's probably not great, is it? Because you can see how shiny it is. Would you remove yours from there? Mine is Hermione.
It'll lose its
and it
mint
says,
condition.
who cares? I mean, it's sort of exciting, isn't it? Breaking the rules, and Hermione Granger, and yours is Harry.
Mine is Harry, and it says, I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good.
So they're going to get used on our
These
new
are
books,
like
so.
actual Warner Brother products.
They're very, very good. Very good in.
I thought they were
Your
just...
mum went to Barnes and Noble. She was very excited. Would you like me to move that, or do you want to keep it with your books?
No, it's fine. You put that there.
Okay. So who wants to go first? We're just going to take
How
one
many
out
have
of
you
the bag.
got?
I think I've got 5.
Okay, well you go... Oh, I've got...
2,
I've
4,
got...
1, 2, 3. I've got 5.
I've got 6.
Oh, you better start then, Mr. Mr. Big Book Bag.
Mr. Bookworm, they call me.
Mr. Bookworm. Call it.
So let's go... Let's get my guilty pleasure out.
So hold it up, but because they're library books, they're always a bit shiny.
That's okay. McFly!
This is the slowest book move on to a thing ever.
There we go.
McFly are a UK band. David's very fond of them.
They are my... I'm very... Yeah, well, I was very fond of Tom Fletcher.
Tom Fletcher, he's got a YouTube channel that we're both very fond of.
Yeah, he's an absolute genius. He's very creative.
He's written The Christmasaurus, which is a book we've both read and loved.
And
we
that's
went to
been
see the
turned
stage
into
show
a film.
last year.
But obviously he's written majority of McFly ones. He's written songs for...
He's a songwriter.
For Busted and
very good.
Justice, and all the boys.
Well, I read this many years ago, and I keep saying to David that he should read this. Each chapter has bits in there written by various members of the band. And yeah, I just think you'll really like it. It's got some fun. You weren't keen because it's hardback, and David
I'm not a fan of hardback.
David doesn't like hardback books, so he wasn't even going to get this. And then I said, I think you'll like it. So yeah, it's an official autobiography. It's got lots of photos and things in. I think you're going to very much enjoy that.
I will.
My first book is Welcome to Lagos by Chibumundu Onuza. I kept seeing this around and thinking, oh, I would love to read that. I really like books that are set in Nigeria, mainly based on my love for Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. But there's also the guy that wrote Pigeon English, which I've heard is a very good book, has written on the back on the back here, I loved the bittersweet tone of this novel, so wise and so beautiful. So I was already, to be honest, the hardback cover of this front cover is also gorgeous. So that's what drew my eye to it, and also the fact that I like books set in Nigeria. And yeah, so it says here, it's about 5 runaways who ride the bus from Bayelsa to a better life in a megacity. They're unlikely allies, a private, a housewife, an officer, a militant, and a young girl. They share a need for escape and a dream for the future. Soon they will also share a burden none could have expected, but for now the 5 sit quietly with their hopes as the billboards fly past and shout, "Welcome to Lagos." So yeah, I feel very excited about that. I'm looking forward to reading that. Your next one, David. Oh yeah, this is one he's picked up and he's not sure.
Well, Lauren said, look at this.
Hold it.
So it's called 13.
By Tom
Is there
Hoyle.
even a... Tom Hoyle.
Tom Hoyle. And I mean, we were just in... David's the only YA, David, you've read is Wonder, and you really loved it. And I feel like David is probably, as someone who doesn't read loads, I feel like YA is probably a good... This is really heavy, this book, isn't it?
This is very heavy.
And this sort of caught my eye. It's got... it's... What's Minnie doing? She's having a wee. The pages were yellow, and I just thought, oh, you might like that. And it says here,
his days are numbered. And it's got numbers crossed out at the top.
Yeah.
And at the bottom. So yeah, we'll see what that's about. Like, there's no blurb.
You don't really know much more about it, do you?
There's nothing. It doesn't say anything. So I'm just going to go in and see what happens.
Go and see what happens. So yeah. The next one that I've got is one that has been I've been waiting to collect. I've had this on reserve ever since I read Little Fires Everywhere, and that's Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ng. Celeste, this book was really doing its rounds on BookTube last year, and I'm very, very excited about this. The author is Chinese American. And she wrote, as I said, she wrote Little Fires Everywhere, which I read earlier this year and really enjoyed. I've been meaning to get my hands on Everything I Never Told You, which is, I feel like it's slightly different. Oh, because it's set more in the past, so Little Fires Everywhere is set like now. She does really good like family dynamics and family sagas with like twists, and not thriller. I wouldn't say it wasn't like up there with thriller, but there's definitely something that's happened and you're interested more in what's going on. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I might even start that soon. Next one, David. Oh, I pushed this into his hands. I've been keen for David to read this for so long.
My name is Leon.
By
Kit DeWall.
I listened to the audiobook of this last year and loved it. It was narrated by Lenny Henry. It was amazingly, amazingly done. It's set in the 80s, and I know you really like books set in the 80s. Well, you just like the 80s, don't you? Like books, you like films set in the 80s. And it's about a young boy in care whose mother can't look after him and his brother anymore. Now, Leon, the boy who the book is about and who follows, he's mixed race, and his brother is a white child. So the brother gets adopted really quickly. He's a baby as well, which also works in his favour. And Leon goes into care and sort of meets a number of friends along the way, unlikely friends, like his carer's a really old woman who's cared for foster children for her whole life and things like that. And it's really heartwarming and sad and happy and awful, and it's just got everything, and I just really feel like you'd like it. And you don't, if you liked audiobooks, I would force you to listen to the audiobook of it, but you're not mad, are you?
No, I can't get into him.
He can't get into him, although you don't mind Harry Potter ones. Still not that bothered, still not that bothered. This is one, my next one is one that I actually already had and needed renewing, so I just got it again. That's The Fair Fight by Anna Freeman. Mercedes read this on her channel like years and years ago. This is about women's wrestling.
Oh, cool.
It's a historical fiction novel about women wrestling and fighting. And yeah.
The Rock in it.
The Rock Wayne, is his name Wayne? Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He's not in this, guys, so that's a bit of a shame.
Like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin's not in there. Let me think of anyone else.
Come on, you must know another wrestler. You must know a wrestler. The Dead Man.
Is that one?
Well, no, that's his nickname. You must know. The Undertaker.
Killer? The Undertaker. Killer?
Who's Killer?
But anyway, I don't know. But I'm very much looking forward to reading a historical fiction book about female wrestling. It starts off a woman in a brothel, and they sort of take her from there and train her up and stuff.
It's just like the original Fight Club.
It's like the original Fight Club, The Fair Fight. Isn't that a really good cover as well?
It is cool.
Really
I
cool
like
cover.
the idea of that.
Yeah.
Where is it? How new is it?
It's been out a few years. I'll tell you, like 2014.
Is it a true story or?
No, it's historical fiction. So it's set in like the past.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I hope somebody picks that up.
Yeah, it'd be cool, wouldn't it?
That'd be cool. Like especially after how successful Glow is on Netflix.
Yeah.
That'd be. I'd like to see that.
And
That'd
it's
be
got
awesome.
like people. So Sarah Waters, who wrote Tipping the Velvet, she's put, The Fair Fight is a hugely exciting and entertaining novel written with warmth, charm, authority, and above all, terrific flair. I loved it. So yeah.
So my next one is a Harlan Coben one, which is called Court. So I've already read one Harlan Coben called Into the Woods, and I enjoyed it because it had a bit of courtroom drama, and I like a bit of courtroom drama. And this, so a 17-year-old girl disappears, and then the reporter is also trying to find some sexual predators that are in their area by doing some sting operations, and then it involves murder and all sorts of thriller, crime, fun, as you'd expect from a Harlan Coben
If anyone's
book.
got any recommendations, because crime, like courtroom dramas,
It's just caught like
they're not something I read a lot of.
Well,
but
no,
if you've got something that you would recommend that's a courtroom drama, then do let us know.
Yeah, I should have looked for Runaway Jury.
You should have also read A Time to Kill. Why didn't we look in the John Grisham bit?
Isn't that a humongous book though?
Yeah, it's humongous.
Yeah, so I'm not.
Yeah, so smaller.
So like this is kind of my bag for a book.
Bag book.
Bag book.
Lovely. Then my next one is one that I'm currently, I had to pick up because I put a I had to put a reservation on it, and I've mentioned it already in my TBR. It's Shantaram by Gregory David Roberts. It's fucking massive. I'm reading, and also look at the font in it as well. It's gone all like, look. It's going to take me ages. I need to start this soon, really. This is what we're reading for my book club at work. It's set in the 80s, quite a lot of a theme of a book set in the 80s. And I believe it's true life. It's like a memoir. It says, Gregory David Roberts, the guy who wrote it, he's an armed robber and heroin addict, escaped from an Australian prison to India where he lived in a Bombay slum. There he established a free health clinic and also joined the mafia, working as a money launderer, forger and street soldier. He found time to learn Hindi and Marathi, fell in love, and spent time being worked over in an Indian jail. Then, in case anyone thought he was slacking, he acted in Bollywood and fought with the Mahajeen in Afghanistan. And then he wrote Shantaram 3 times after prison guards trashed his first 2 versions.
Oh God.
So yeah, I mean, it sounds like there's going to be a hell of a lot going on in there. So yeah, I need to have read by the first Tuesday in June. So I need to start this soon. I might take it away with me when I go away with the booktube girls. Your next one, David?
It's Mr. King, Mr. Stephen King book. I've never read a Stephen King. I've never read a horror.
I feel like you'll really enjoy. This was the first Stephen King book I read, Misery. Have you watched the film?
No, I was just about to mention the film.
The
because
film,
they've got the Kathy Bates, isn't
yeah,
it? Kathy
it's
Bates movie.
so. I mean, the book is so tense. So it's about an author who has a. God, all you hear is Minnie clearing up her litter. Minnie!
Don't shout at her.
It's about an author who has an awful accident after killing off one of his main characters in a series of books that he writes. And the person who finds him after having this awful car accident is his biggest fan, and she is furious that he's killed off his main character, and she keeps him as sort of like. Are you listening to me? Because you look like you're reading your next book.
No, I'm listening.
What did I just say?
Misery.
What about Misery? What's it about?
I know what it's about. So it's about a guy who's written a selection of books, and he kills off the main character.
Yeah.
And then he has is it a skiing accident?
No.
Did you mention what accident he has?
No.
I know it's a skiing accident.
It's not. I think it's a car accident.
Oh, I thought oh no, they do a parody episode in The Simpsons, and in that it's a skiing.
Oh, maybe it is a skiing accident. No, I think it's a car accident. But anyway, so he goes to and his captor looks after him, and she gets him to write another book, getting the chapter the main character, whose name is Misery, back. And yeah, it's just really patriotic. Like the chapters are really short. Look, you can see like some of them are like 2 paragraphs.
Oh, that's a dream.
Yeah. And yeah, you're just gonna love it. And also you get like
emails.
No, this is the book that he's writing, and he writes on an old typewriter, and the N is missing, so he has to write in all the N's. And then later on,
cool. Are they different
something
ends,
happens to the typewriter.
Oh, well, don't spoil. God, don't
and then
spoil
he has to
anything.
start filling in T's as well.
Oh, okay.
And things like that.
All right.
I think you're going to really like it.
Okay, thank you.
My last book that I have is one that I've been meaning to read for a very, very long time. I actually had it on my Christmas list this year and I didn't get it. Oh, it sounded like I was really miserable about that. I'm fine, I've got lots of lovely things. It's Eating Animals by Jonathan Safran Foer. What was that?
Idiot cars.
Oh. Jonathan Safran Foer wrote Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, which is a book I've read before. This is non-fiction. This is all about what it's like to eat, why we eat, why we eat what we do, why we eat animals, why people don't eat animals. And yeah, I think it's going to be really, really interesting, and I've wanted to read it for a long time. It's a lot of people that I know that have gone vegetarian have said that this is the reason they've gone vegetarian, or this is the reason they've gone vegan. So yeah, I just feel like extra. I enjoy reading things like this. I had a bit of a bad experience with a book earlier this year by Sean O'Callaghan called Fat Gay Vegan, which I just felt was really preachy and not inclusive at all. And I've been looking forward to reading something else, and I've only really heard good things about this. So yeah, I'm going to looking forward to reading that. And then what's your last book, David?
My last book, which is probably the book I'm most excited about, which I didn't actually know was here. So it's called The Last Rhinos, and it's by Lawrence Anthony, and this is the guy. I've already read one of his books, which is called The Elephant Whisperer, and it looks exactly the same as this.
Turn around and show, because it is literally the exact same front cover, except it's got a rhino on it. But Dave, you may know.
But I absolutely adored The Elephant Whisperer. So it's about Lawrence, who has a game reserve in South Africa, and in The Elephant Whisperer, he bought a herd of elephants that were all unruly, and he kind of turned them around and then made them all loving again. And now this is The Last Rhinos. So I'm assuming it's kind of going to follow the same thing. So basically, it's just going to carry on the story of the game reserve, but with different animals, and obviously other animals that get mentioned as well. And I think it also mentions that it will probably be... Oh yeah, so the elephants probably will be mentioned as well.
Your old friends.
Oh, mates. Oh, Nana. Nana was an elephant.
And Bush Baby George.
Who's Bush Baby George?
What's this here? From a remarkable herd of elephants to a badly behaved bush baby called George.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So this will be really. I'm very excited.
He
about
didn't even
this.
know. I said, I think you've got that already, and he was like, no, I haven't. Got it on the shelf. David is very, very fond of non-fiction animal stories.
I'll read any old
so like
shit
you like
about that.
You've read. I mean, we're going to do David's reading update for halfway through the year next month, but one that you've recently read and adored. Is it safe to say adored?
Yeah, I can't believe I haven't watched the movie already, which is that one.
Street cat named Bob.
Brilliant.
He loved it. You just loved it so much.
Yeah, I just love books about animals.
So, if you had to look at your pile of books now, get your pile of books. Get your pile of books.
This.
No, you don't know what the question is.
I know. Rate it from worst. What I'm most likely to read.
Get your pile of books, and then which one do you think you're most likely to read first?
Well, that one, obviously.
I think mine might be... I don't know, because your excitement for the fair fight got me excited as well.
Yeah, I think that
so
sounds
maybe
wicked.
that. And then if you had to pick one that you're the least excited to read, what would you pick?
Probably that.
Oh really? Why is that?
Yeah. Oh, like, I don't think it's what I'm going to be after.
Oh, mine's probably this, and just because of the sheer size of it, and also because I know I have to read it, which sometimes puts you off. But yeah, so those are the books. You can put that down now.
I'll put this one back up because this one's the best one.
So those are the books that we got in our recent library haul. Let us know what books you enjoy getting from your library. Do you want to move into the frame a bit more, David, rather than this sort of thing?
Sorry, I was looking at my book.
Those are the books we got in our recent library haul. We're now going to have a bit of pizza and we're going to read on our lunch while we eat our lunch.
And I hope, because obviously this is going out on Sunday.
Yeah.
That we all that UK done excellent in the Eurovision.
We're watching Eurovision Song Contest night, which is David's favourite musical night of the year.
Love it.
He's very, very excited.
We've even put a couple of cheeky bets on.
We have. I've put a £2 bet on Ireland to win.
Yeah. So it's a bit like the Grand National, because you can bet on each way. So it's if that country comes either first to fifth, and you get something back.
So hopefully they've done well. But yes, thank you so much for watching and joining us on our library journey. And we will see you all again soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye!